So first trip of the year, we're at the Magnetawan access point. Trip got pushed back because of delay on ice out, but here we are. There's the truck with the canoes, and there's the access point. Get back to Zoom. So here we are on my Hambone Lake. Just did the first portage from Magnetawan access point, and we're gonna head down to the Petawawa River through Daisy. And John's being a bit of an ass over there, but you know, we're all good, you know. So we're doing a small 55 between Hambone and Acme. The sign is marked Pond, but heading down to the Petawawa and then up into Queer for the night. Petawawa River is supposed to be pretty high right now, so I'm assuming there's going to be a fast current. So me and Edgar are working out our canoe paddle technique because neither one of us have really canoed together before, but we'll get her done before we get there. So I'm just going to head back to the beginning. John's trying to figure out his setup. He bought a Thort bag and had some plans for it, and it's not working out to his expectations. And say, there's Edgar. Say hello, Edgar.
Hello.
So hopefully he can balance that out, and me and Edgar can get our canoe technique down before we hit the Petawawa, and things should be good. All right. So we're paddling through Acme on our way to Daisy towards the Petawawa River. And me and Edgar are working up the kinks on our paddling. I think we'll get her done before the time we get to the raging rapids, you know, class whatever dangerous is, and up to Queer and camp for the night. So, like I said, we're doing the 420 to Daisy. This is pretty much, you know, the portage that's actually worth doing. Everything else has been really tiny up until now. Me and Edgar across that last little pond, we did pretty good, keeping the boat in a straight line. G seems to have figured out his setup. We're both testing out some new gear, and yeah. Oh, this is nice. I'll flip the camera around and show you guys this. A slip of the foot. Very muddy. Very muddy. Trying to find some paths here. So essentially we've had the trip booked for May since January, and we were waiting for ice out like everybody else. We were supposed to go in on the 11th, and on the Wednesday we received an email saying that ice out has been pushed back and that we'd have to re-reserve. But as all of you know, miraculously Opiongo on Friday announced their ice out and the park opened. Granted, there are certain things that are still closed because of water and mud and other conditions. So we scrambled to change our vacations. Mike was supposed to be coming with us, and had to go to Texas at the last minute. So we're coming up from the first little stretch of the Petawawa River to a portage. I think it's I don't know, 11 or something like that, and onto the Petawawa. Maybe it's not 11. I have no clue. John has a map. Okay, so we are on our way officially to the Petawawa. Oh, jeez, very muddy. Almost lost it. Anyway, there's a group of young guys out for canoes, and I mean, they're young guys. They're having a good time. They got a Bluetooth speaker and playing music and generally being loud. So we just passed them. Like I said, if that's their thing, I'm not against doing what you want to do, but I just prefer just get past them and not have to listen to what we're getting away from, which is noise and loudness. Just be out here. So yeah, so now we're officially on the Petawawa River. John's coming with his boat right now. Edgar should be shortly behind with his gear and our food. And here comes John now. Okay, so we're gonna see if John gets attacked by these geese here. And hopefully he does, so that way the video can go viral. Oh, they're off! Man, now what a hum, man! Yeah. So, we're doing the portage from the Petawawa to Queer. Sorry I'm out of breath, but it starts with a really steep incline. We're staying at Queer for the night. We decided to come this way because me and John had gone through Ralph Bice and white trout last year, and we wanted to see something different. So I'm on my end of this battery for the day. I get to camp, swap out batteries, and I'll update you guys even more. Alright, now we got about 2,300 meters of pretty flat. I've already done this portage, and it goes relatively well. It's just it's long, that's it. But you soldier through it and you get it done. So here we are in Queer Lake. We got here around 6:30. Me and Edgar finally figured out how to paddle the canoe together. Essentially, we swap places. He's much better at steering than I am. I usually go in the front when I'm with John. So I guess I still am the other guy in the canoe.
So here's our camp. It's all kind of pushed back over here. I got my hammock set up over there. It's a war bonnet ridge runner, and I have the brand new 13-foot UGQ Winter Dream. So Edgar has the the Dutch Chameleon. I lent him my 12-foot Winter Dream because he has the double setup for him and his wife with a DDXL tarp. And then G is back off to the side over there in the Amok Dreamer, and it's the first time he's bringing that to Algonquin. If Mike would have come, then he would have had the DD Traveler, I think it is. I don't know, DD Traveler XL. Anyway, so we're going to finish getting set up, hang the bear rope so it's ready for when it's dark, and cook some steak.
So we just camped on Queer Lake for the night. It's probably around 8:40 or so, and we're gonna head down to the portage that leads to the Tim River. Have a little Tim River run. Pretty easy day. Do a lot of fishing most likely, and then because all the campsites on the Tim River were booked, we're gonna shoot down, do an 11:25 to Shaw. And sleep there for the night. So we're on our way from Queer to the Tim River, pretty much in 1800, and then like I said, we have a pretty easy day, so we're going to spend a lot of it fishing, and hopefully we can, one of us or all of us, can score some fish, maybe for lunch. Nice trout. Now this is muddy, very muddy. Okay, catch up with you later. So I remember this portage from last year. It was one of our real first portages of the trip. Oh, look at this muddy bog. Oh, mud! Crazy mud. Little stream here. Couldn't drink out of it, but here I think is close to where the portage split off is. Tim River that way. Oh wow. So still on the portage from Queer to Tim River. Hell of a first half. Uphill mud non-stop. So you know what goes up must come down. So now we're on the downward. Hopefully there's not too much mud on the really slopey parts, because even mud on the upward parts was a bit of a challenge.
So here we are at the Tim River. We've still got a little bit of left in the portage to do. So I love the sound of just water rushing over the top of rocks. You know, it's nothing crazy, but it's just it's very peaceful and very relaxing. We got a couple of guys down there that were here when we got here. They're fishing. I don't know if they've had any luck, but we're going to essentially at the end of this portage just kind of have some lunch and have a little snack and do some fishing, because today is fishing day. So we stopped for lunch at the end of the portage to the Tim River. The guys that were there are still fishing. They caught a couple of little brookies. He said yesterday a guy caught a decent, you know, probably about 10, 12 inches. So we're gonna fish here for a little bit and see if we can get anything, but so far it's not looking promising because nobody's caught a fish since we've been here. We've been here for a good 45 minutes. So yeah. Say hello, Edgar.
Hello, Edgar.
John's over there.
You was able to rescue my fishing rod?
Yeah, Edgar got snug up on a rock, and as he was trying to shake it free, the end of his fishing rod went flying into the water and got hung up on a rock. Luckily, one of the guys that was fishing there, he had a set of waders, so he went in and dislodged the fishing rod for Edgar. And shortly after, John returned the favor, because one of when we were putting in the boats in the water, one of the guys got hung up, and John got his lure out for him. So see, karma goes around, comes around, right? So Edgar got his first trout.
Yes!
Oh, nice little guy. Bring it in, grab your line, Edgar.
Okay.
Yep. There we go.
Whoop.
Doesn't even have to take him off the hook. That's a good 8 inches or so. And now Edgar's gonna figure out how slimy trout are.
Yes!
That's a trout?
Yeah, it's a trout.
I thought it looked a little silver to me.
Yeah, it's just a very small brookie.
Oh, that's not a bad size.
Well, no, but I mean, like, that's the silver kind of thing. There we go.
Oh, damn man. Congrats, Edgar. First fish of the trip.
So we're on the Tim here. There looks to be what was an old bridge. So we figured it's the only place that doesn't have squishy alders on either side, and we can actually stand and cast. So I don't know where it went to. And we had a fire pit here at one point. There's some fishing line there, so maybe that's a sign.
Okay, so we just gnawed off a little chunk of the Tim River. We're on the portage de Shaw, which is essentially a superfluous portage because we wanted to stay on the Tim, but they were all booked. But we're essentially in the Shaw today, out back to the Tim tomorrow, and then continuing down the Tim to all the way down through Shippergrew into Longer. So it's going to be a long day with as windy as the Tim River is. And me and John were saying how we kind of prefer the Nipissing so far because there's more rapids. Sorry, big log. Okay. Yeah, so even what we've seen in the Petawawa too, it's been pretty nice, but not so many places that we could stop and fish. and John got a fish, and Edgar got a fish. I'm still fishless, but it's only day 2, so the week is wow, this is special coming up here. The week is young, and hoping that start feeling a little bit better. I've been getting shivers and getting warm. Thinking I might have a fever, but I'll take some Advil later and hopefully it'll go away. Boardwalk's completely submerged in water. Anybody who wants to keep their feet dry? Not possible. Wow. Let's hope I don't step off to the side. This is a board dive. Never seen a boardwalk floated like this. Oh, about 5 years we've been coming here. Well, come to an end, as long as I stay on. Oh, broken board. Nice. Pretty much a 45-degree for straight uphill. So I'll film it. I apologize for my panting, but I'm old and out of shape. Like mountain climbing with a pack and a canoe on your head. Wow. That was something. So we're on Shaw Lake right now, looking for a campsite. Probably around 3 o'clock. Have a nice, relaxing camp. Rest of the camp day. Hopefully there's fish on this lake. There's none on Jeff's maps, but you never know. So I can see there being a whole lot of lakes in Algonquin with 0 fish. But we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a half-decent campsite and be able to fish from shore. If not, we'll go out in the boats. So here's the hammock all set up. Doors closed on one side. Spreader bars. Get some headroom in the middle. And I opened up in the front over here.
And there's home for the night. So as you can guess, I got a thing for lime green. I think it stems from either 70s supercars or that Devastator from the Transformers. But anyway, I like the look of it. So here we are leaving Shaw Lake. Here and G are finished packing up their stuff. Didn't catch any fish. Didn't really see any signs of fish. But we didn't fish a whole lot either. It was pretty much a lazy day. We were all pretty tired, not having slept super well 2 nights in a row. Yeah, so we'll be getting on the water pretty soon, back through that hellish portage, back towards Tim River, and then all the way down to Tim. Hopefully we'll stop and fish a little bit before we get to Shipper Groove, and then into Longer for the night.
So here we go, the muddiest, most flooded portage I've seen in all my 5 years of coming to Algonquin. Shaw to Tim River, and we'll probably get to that steep hill with the rock face. We'll probably double carry just down the hill, just for safety reasons, because we're at day 3 and we don't need anybody getting hurt. Okay, so either you see me fall down a giant hill with a boat, or I navigate this successfully and get down to the bottom where we've already dropped off our bags, and Edgar is waiting. Luckily there's like a little path off to the side that you can kind of navigate a bit. Thing is, there's just rock face and going downhill, so the boat kind of tags on the back. Hugging the side of the trees. A 16-foot boat, you kind of get tagged up a little bit. Just gotta watch where you put your feet and work through it. And success. So we're back on the Tim River. John is actually been so gracious enough, seeing as how he's a more skilled canoe paddler than me and Edgar, to hop in the boat with Edgar. And I'm in his Quinn 14 pack boat. I was actually supposed to bring my solo boat this year, which is a Swift Osprey that I bought off of Kijiji and fixed up over the winter, but because Mike couldn't make it, we took the canoe to save on weight and to be more convenient. So hopefully I'll get out with the boat, see how it does a trip in July. We're in the park for Canada Day next, so yeah. So here we go down the Tim. It's going to be a long day, probably a good 3.5–4 hours down to Tim. Hopefully there'll be a couple of places maybe we can stop and fish. A spot for lunch maybe. Alright. So coming up to the first portage off the Tim River, John and Edgar went in first. I hung back a little bit, and the portage is actually really close to where the rapids start. So I waited for them to get out and headed in. And as I got in, I tried to grab a branch just to pull myself in, but the current kind of took the back end of the boat. And then next thing I know, I was taking a swim in the Tim. So it's probably about, what, 9:30 or so?
Probably 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 o'clock. You know, I usually take my shower at 6, but, you know. So anyway, we're at the end of the portage, and probably have a little snack, fish, see if we can get anything. And I'm going to spend a very soggy rest of the Tim. So I just got my first guy of the trip here. Actually, so I guess I went into the Tim, and the Tim giveth back. So here we are on the wider part of the Tim River. We had stopped for our lunch. So the Tim River took me into it, and then I took a fish from the Tim River, and then said EGP lure that I caught said fish on was taken back by the Tim River. So got quite a bit of a paddle left to do, and in through 2 lakes through it longer. My clothes are drying out nicely. Sucked at first to have wind, but wind's drying them out. I have to say, this Fjallraven pants really dry out really well, really quickly. Very impressed, very happy. It's my second pair. Not that I destroyed the first pair, I just liked it so much I bought 2. So, on we go. So here we are on Longer Lake. It was a hell of a day. Like 8:30 all the way to 6 when we got here. And after I dumped in the river, I realized that all my battery packs and everything were soaked because they were on the outside of my bag in a separate compartment, which was not waterproof, just water resistant. But we went up the Tim. After we saw the moose, my battery was pretty much dead. But when we got to the end of the portage, I noticed coming up the river Ted Beard from History's Alone. And then next thing you know, his brother Jim comes up, and then there's Sean James. So I didn't have any battery left in my GoPro to take any pictures or anything, but we talked to them for 5 minutes. They were really, really nice guys. I think John actually got a picture of Jim and Sean. But anyway, now we're setting up. We had a little sprinkling of rain here and there. Hopefully we get some sun tomorrow so we can get a line going on big trout and try up some gear. There's a specific place that we want to actually get on big trout. I hope it's available. So there's a camp up there, and there you go. Very, very long day. Very long.